Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Qalbsaleem Muhammad. I am a calligrapher, a poet, a graphic designer, and an architect. It's such an honor to be speaking to you guys. It's kind of weird that I cannot actually see you guys right now, but you can see me. I was invited to speak at Phil conference, but unfortunately, I would not be able to. I wasn't able to make it to the event, so you would have to do with this. I was given the topic of branding and its importance to a business or a startup. Let me give you the reason why you should kind of listen to me on this topic. I have been in the graphic design industry for getting to 4 years now, 4 to 5 years. And over that time, I have worked with several influential brands, both startups and corporate ones and existing ones. So I have some experience regarding that. So you would say that is a startup on its own under Qalbsaleem Incorporated, which is the housing body of my company. And under that, we have Calligraphy, which is a calligraphy services business. So it's I would say I have some experience regarding you know startups and things like that. Um, so what is branding and why is it important? Branding specifically is how you present yourself to the world, right? What the world perceives you at. Your brand is not actually your logo or your colors or whatever. It's like saying, who is Qalbsaleem? The head is not just counseling. There's the mind, there's the soul, there's the body. So all these things come together to make who you are as a person. And those the branding includes other things like the personality of the business, the target audience, who you are serving, why you're doing what you're doing. All of these things. I'm not saying that the colors and the logo and whatnot are not important. No, what I am saying is what sticks the most is how you deliver and package the message. All right. So that in essentiality is branding. I'm sure a lot of people, when they talk about branding, the first thing that comes to their mind is logo designs and whatnot. So it's very important that you know the difference between these things in the sense that this gives you the ability to be able to communicate clearly to your target audience or market. All right. So the important why is branding important? Like I mentioned, it's so you can be able to deliver your message correctly. Since we now have a fair understanding of what branding is, it comes down to the question of how do we brand the business, right? Since okay, we said it's not just the logo, it's not the colors or whatever. The colors are like the face. The color, the logo are like the face of your business, right? So now we're talking about the back end. What do you do behind closed doors that influences your business? This involves your customer service, your packaging, your what do you call it? The way you deliver your products, the process of how you deliver your services. All right. So all of this involves you having a systematic way of delivering your products or services. So when it comes to branding, you have to start with why. I would recommend this book by Simon Sinek. If you know him, great. If you do not, I recommend his book. Start with why. It actually delves into, okay, the concept is this. He describes businesses, the main purpose of why people are in business. So I would want to ask you this: why are you in business? All right, why are you in business? In the sense that a lot of people would actually say they're in for the money, sakba and all, but that is not exactly the case. What is that thing that helps you wake up every day to want to do what you're doing? I am not saying it's easy. I am not in any way insinuating that it is not hard. It's a hard thing to do, which is why if you want to do it long term, you need to be able to do it correctly. And your why, the reason why you are in business should not be because you want to make money. Yes, that is a part of it. That is an essential part of it. But the why should be, people based. How you want to serve people, how you want to make an impact. For example, talking about my why for my calligraphy business, my why is I want to help as many people as I can who are interested, who are enthusiastic about finding their creative spirit through calligraphy. So as you can see, the why is tied to helping people. That is the most important thing. So if probably you have a food business or something, maybe cakes, or you sell small chops and stuff, you could say that your why is to put a smile on people's face. You love that when people when people buy your product, it puts a smile on their face, or it makes them happy, or it saves them from depression or something. You that should be the governing process of how you go about your business. That is like the core, the soul of what it is that you are doing. So after the why then defines the what. Okay, I want to help people find their creative spirit through calligraphy. Okay, how do I do that? Right? So through calligraphy, calligraphy is the what, the vehicle to which I would reach my why. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I am praying that I am making sense. I really do not like that I cannot see your facial expressions right now to see if you're confused or you're actually following. So, why, what, and how? Once you can answer these three questions and have them written down, please always write down your ideas, always jot them down, always write something. And I would tell you that you don't necessarily need to figure out your why. Like right now, it took me a while to do that too, to understand the concept itself and then move towards understanding the why. I am sure you are thinking, what does all this have to do with the branding? It's very important in the sense that if at any point in time you grow big enough, like we are hoping that that would happen, you grow big enough to hire other people, this is like the central point of where everyone would draw information from. And that is like that keeps the whole structure of your business from falling apart, or where you see businesses like our government Nigeria. I'm sorry to say, but if there's a common goal that whoever comes into power or something, that they are going to continue on what is already existing, or maybe modify it a bit, and then not decide to just do their own thing. Everybody wants to make their I get everybody wants to make their own mark, but that is why you are a body. That is why you are a business. You do not want anybody to come and do whatever. As long as that why has been specified, you would find that it is easier for you to communicate to both your employees, your clients, and your investors. So it's as long as you can identify that, it becomes easier for you to do all of this communication simpler. Or you just need to maybe open your Google documents or something and then just bring it out and things like that. And it's from that that you identify the structure with which you with the structure with which you build the business on. The administration section, the what do you call it, financial section, and things like that. So it becomes the governing um, entity in your business. Then comes the what. What are you serving people? Is it a service? Is it a product? Cakes? What do you call it? Innovations? What is it that you're trying to deliver to people? What, which is connected to your why? So my why, like I mentioned, is to help people find their creative spirit through calligraphy. Calligraphy is the bus. All right. If Y is the destination, right? Calligraphy is the bus to get. That is, this is where you get to choose whether you want a plane, a bus, a car, or a train. So that is the vehicle towards reaching. Someone can have the same Y as me, but the thing is, everybody's why is different. Somebody might want to do the same thing that I'm doing, but their own vehicle would be different. They would say probably they are pencil artists, or they do paintings, or through selling food or something. Everybody has their own way of delivery. You might have the so. This is where it comes down to. Let's say you have a business and I have the same business, right? We This usually happens a lot in the food based industry, where there's Zara selling small shops, there's Aisha selling small shops, there's Khadija and Dawish, all of them are selling small shops. So this, you see that once this one writes Aisha small shops, and that one writes Zuhra small shops, her color is red, your color is red. How do you differentiate yourselves, and how does that help you target the right people to come and buy your products? You try not to underestimate the power that you have as an individual. Personal branding is like very, very important in our time today. Usually people don't, a lot of times the biggest projects I've worked on did not actually come from, just randomly. It came from people that knew me. So the more you, and that did not just happen by chance. So the more you can have good relations with people, in the sense that you add value and they know that this is what you're about, trust me, they would mention your names in places that your legs cannot go. So it's really important for you to do that. Personal branding comes down to your personality and how and your style of communication. All right. So personal branding helps you. It's like the tunnel through which people discover you. All right. It's like how do I put it? It's like a funnel. You are the magnet that attracts people. So it's very important for you to share your work. All right. Sharing your work means whatever it is you're doing, always try to share it. Sharing in the sense that people are interested in seeing what you do, not in the sense that you only post about my products, come and buy this, come and buy that, come and buy this, come and buy that. That would kill your business faster than anything. People come to social media for two things, right? Mostly for entertainment. Secondly, to educate themselves. And the best content that thrives on the social media platforms is those that combine the two, those that entertain you and educate you at the same time. So find a way to add value to your followers or to people that are interested in your work. And the way you do this, do you know how the whole influencer thing works? The one that you see ads of movie stars and whatnot. There's a reason why some people would buy one product and not buy the other, in the sense that they like the person that, okay, there's Davido, there's Whiskey. How many of you are Davido and Whiskey fans? I'm sure some of you are both, some of you are what do you call it, so basically, there are some people that would not buy or patronize a product specifically because they used Wizkid as their brand expert. Or, there are, let me even bring it down lower. There are times when, you want to give something or your sibling or someone something, and simply because they offended you or you don't like the way they talk or something, maybe your brother's friend or your sister's friend, you just feel that no, I don't want to work with this person at all. Why? It has nothing to do with their quality of work. It simply has to do with your values and their values do not align. So having that, knowing yourself and knowing your own, um, the target audience, the people you're trying to serve, helps you communicate better to them. For example, if you want to talk to children, right? Maybe you're at a gathering where there are lots of children. Do you think if you carried what do you call it? If you carried two or gari or something and told the children to come, would they come? No, they will not, because that is not their language. Their language is sweets, games, phone games and things like that. And but what if you're trying to communicate to adults or teenagers? Everyone has their own way of receiving your message. If I was talking to what do you call it? If let's say you're talking to your father, it's not the same way as the way you talk to your sister or your child. So all these things are interconnected, and I want you to not leave them only in real life. Put them in your businesses the way you want your actual target audience or target customer to understand, to feel. For example, if you're trying to sell a bag that is worth $100,000, or maybe food that is worth 100,000 naira, right? Would you go and find someone who can barely afford a meal for a day? No. And try to tell them about the restaurant is the ambience of the restaurant is great. The food had this zesty. They would not understand all of that. What they would do is just their own is just to eat. So it makes no sense to them for you to start describing all that. So that is, they will say that's your own problem. But if you're looking for someone to actually be able to purchase that, where will you find that type of person, right? Where do they spend time with? These are people that have money. Those people that have gone past their basic necessities of life, which is food, shelter, and whatever. They want something extra, right? So, how do you find these types of people? Where do they go? How can you meet them? Do you need to go to events? Do you need to, when you get to talk to one of them or something, you get to understand that this is the language they use. All right. Yes, they may be, for example, if I am talking to you in Chinese now, you would not understand what I'm saying at all, because you do not understand me. So the aim is always to understand the language that your target customer speaks. You are not your target customer. Please keep this in mind. You are not your target customer. All right. So when talking about your target customer, we are talking about someone that would buy your product. A lot of times you sell things. How many times have you sold or bought things from people that don't use them themselves? You think the person who makes what do you call it, coffins, ever use? They only buy his own two separately somewhere else or something. So there are things that we sell that we don't need ourselves, but because there is the demand, we are able to sell those things to people that actually want them. All right. So you have to keep that in mind too. And I want you to, if you're getting anything from this, I know that I'll probably get a replay or something. I would want you to at least raise your hand if you've learned a thing or two. So yes, I really hope that this helps. Lastly, I would say the how. I think I've started covering the how. I mentioned why, what, how, right? So the how. How are you going to deliver your service to people? So these three things are what defines your brand, and communicating these over time is what teaches people about you. I started talking about delivering value, right? So imagine you went to a shop, or you went to the market precisely, and then you know you go to the market every day for 30 days, and then there's one shop owner who showed you a product of, let's say, 500,000, right? And then from that first day or second day or fifth day, you never saw them again, right? And then there's another one who sold you a product, who keeps trying to sell a product for the same 500,000 but shows up every day for those 30 days. If you When you are ready to buy, please tell me, who are you going to remember? Or if you are asked to recommend where you can get that type of product or pen or whatever it is, who are you going to recommend? You will recommend someone that you have seen often and has established some sense of credibility, right? So if you are looking for credibility, be credible yourself, all right, in your businesses. You should, and that is where your customer relations and whatnot comes in place. This is where you have people talk about your business without you even being there. This is where you deliver value. Teach people something. You know, put yourself out there. You don't necessarily have to put your face. I can teach you something without necessarily having to be before you. All right. This is also a medium. I'm not standing in front of you or anything, but this is a way I am sharing my knowledge with you. Right. So all these things combined together with your logo and whatever is what the branding is about. All right. And I hope this was helpful. So if you really want to make progress in your business, I want you to keep in mind that perfection is not what you're looking for. What you're looking for is progress. And progress is better than perfection in the sense that if you are able to make one post a day, that is progress. If you're able to make
Hello?
post a day consecutively for 7 days, that is progress. You do not need to make it perfect every single day. There are days that you're vulnerable, there are days that you are not at your 100%, there are days that a customer or a client would do you wrong or you do wrong by you and things like that. I want you to keep in mind that it's all part of a process. Do not think of your business as a marathon, as a sprint. It's not from here to here, it's continuous. It's the long game. All right. So think of it that way. It's not just about you. And wherever you can, try to deliver and add value to the people you meet in one way or the other, whether it's through words or through actions or through whatever. It's actually the essence or it's something that Islam teaches, right? Being kind to others and being helpful to others. So I believe, inshallah, this would help you in one way or the other. So you can find me on my Instagram channels at Instagram or YouTube at Qalbigraphy. My name is Qalbsaleem Muhammad, spelled Qalbsaleem. I It was a pleasure talking to you guys. All right, so take care. If you have any further questions, you can send it to my DM or something like that. All right, bye.